over 20 years, Dan Ladd has worked in collaboration with nature to produce very unique art forms by growing gourds inside of molds.
In 1978, friends of mine brought me a cantaloupe fruit which had grown into a fence. It had grown through turkey wire fencing. And it intrigued me enough so that I thought, gee, maybe I could do this with gourds and they'd be longer lasting.
Since then, he has continually refined the process, whereby these humble gourds are transformed into sculptural forms that challenge our perceptions of material identity. They may be molded as classical statuary fragments or industrial components, or they may allude to other natural materials. It took many years of trial and error to develop the technology that would contain the immense growing pressure of the gourds, estimated at as much as 5,000 pounds per square inch.
I wanted very fine, detailed impression, and it meant that I really had to work on the mold.
The result is a one-piece reinforced mold with a single opening. After its one-time use, each mold is broken away and discarded. Dan's artwork draws on a combination of art and science and is particularly significant due to the use of a living, growing material. The Lagenaria gourd is a native to Africa and Asia, though it may be grown elsewhere where summers are sufficiently hot. Easy and rapid to grow, with big leaves and a white flower, the fruit develops a hard but extremely light woody shell. Different varieties of Lagenaria are used to match the specific shape and size requirements of a given sculptural form. The seeds are planted in late April, with each variety planted in a separate garden area. By late May, they are climbing up inclined ladders and eventually up onto a large trellis deck. Having the plants elevated makes it easier to select and monitor the gourds as they grow. Individual fruits are watched closely as they begin to appear in late June and July. The molds are then placed into position on staging platforms below them. The gourds are carefully inserted into the molds. They are wrapped with tar paper and covered with sheet metal roofs. If the molds absorb excess moisture, the gourd will be subject to rot, just one of the natural perils in the process. As the plants mature during July and August, they must be protected from pests like cucumber beetles and squash borers. In order for the shells of the gourds to achieve the desired thickness, soil supplements such as boron and calcium may be applied at specific growth stages. The molds must be checked daily and constant adjustments made to the position of the gourds within the molds as they grow. Watering is also crucial during this time. Too much water will cause the gourd to grow very quickly and the skin tissue of the fruit will actually tear. Too little water will cause the vines to wilt and the fruit not to mature. And of course, the weather is an important factor. The northeastern United States is already limited to a fairly short growing season, so the delay caused by unusually cool or cloudy weather can be enough to ruin the entire season's crop. After the first killing frost, typically in mid-September, the gourd and mold are cut off the vine and stacked in the shed. Because the gourds are so tightly compressed at this stage, one concern is that hydrostatic pressure can cause them to spontaneously rupture upon being released from the mold. Controlled drying prior to opening is necessary to prevent this. October is spent cracking open the molds with a stone chisel and hammer. The gourd is still vulnerable within the mold, so great care must be taken not to come near it with the tools. This is when, for the first time, the result of an entire year's work is revealed. Will the mold contain a fully formed piece or a disappointment, such as this gourd that has begun to rot?
In the first years, it was humiliating for me, and I wrestled with it in a big way. I feel now that I've been able to achieve a suspended expectation.
After years of unpredictable results, Dan has come to see his role as almost incidental, acknowledging the cooperative nature of the process. The gourds themselves serve as a testament to that process and are lasting evidence of a collaboration between man and nature.